Welcome back to another beautiful property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Nolensville, Tennessee, looking at this gorgeous home for sale on the market, and you are absolutely going to love this. Now, before I do begin, I want to give a huge shout out to the listing agent, Terry Radcliffe with Benchmark Realty, for allowing us to tour this beautiful listing and bringing it to the channel. I think you're absolutely going to love this one. Now, you can obviously see just from the exterior, something you don't see every single day, which I absolutely love. But more importantly, folks, look at how much land you have. Over 3 acres here. You can already see straight ahead where you do have your nice gate. Obviously, it's extremely private. You love the seclusion. I know a lot of my long-term subscribers, they hate being on top of neighbors. So this is one thing that you can certainly appreciate. And not only that, this is actually approved for a pool. So ready to be built. But more importantly, you're going to love the fixtures and really just the materials that they utilize inside of here. Now, I love the farmhouse vibe that we have. Obviously, you see the beautiful lanterns surrounding the entire property. On top of that, you can obviously see you have the natural stack stone going straight in there, but look at the covered front porch, folks. Like I said, something you don't see every day. You can see your beam heading right across. Obviously, it has that nice accent, that nice texture that folks absolutely love. You have your double front doors, and then look at the space that you have on your covered front porch. Now, if you can imagine hanging out here on a Saturday, hearing the birds chirping, a good morning, good coffee, fantastic day. Okay, so enough of that yapping. Let's get you inside so you can see the beauty. Now, I want to preface this by saying this one was staged at one point in time, but not currently, but it really will not take away from the beauty whatsoever. So I'll let you take this in. Gorgeous. So of course, the first thing when you walk in, you have this 2-story foyer. Your staircase is right over here to the left. Right underneath the staircase, folks, is of course the wine cellar. You can obviously see you have the natural stone inside of there. I want to point out this beautiful chandelier right above your staircase, folks. Look at that. This is going to look fantastic at night. Oh my goodness. Okay, so immediately when you walk in, you are greeted with the 2-story great room as well. 20+ foot ceilings. Love the fireplace. You can see they have the LED lighting fixture inside of the fireplace. Of course, you see the porcelain tile on the exterior. You do have the shiplap right above your built-ins. You have your built-in shelving as well, and you have sliders, folks. Look at that. So you saw the amount of space that you have in the front, but look how much space you still have in the back, folks. I know you can see a little bit beyond. You see you're surrounded by the trees. You got a nice pond that's accessible. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. I love the open concept that you get in here. And then of course you have a mother-in-law suite. We'll get to that later on in the tour. Now, I want to show you from this angle. Of course, you can see where your catwalk is. Your second level, straight ahead, folks, is actually an elevator. So I love the fact that, you have quick access to the second story without having to go, up those staircase. As I'm starting to get older, my knees are not as good as they once were, So hitting the big 3-0, that definitely, it feels like it's taking a toll on my body, I tell you. But let's look inside this wine cellar right here. You see, you got some wine bottles right here. And of course, right over here, you look at that. You got your little wine fridge as well built in. Mini, love that. Let's see if we can. There we go. Okay, so you got a little storage area as well right here. So if you want to hide those expensive bottles that you don't want your guests partaking in, that's one of the exclusives, then that's where you're gonna hide it right there, folks. Okay, so let's continue our tour, folks. What we'll go ahead and do is start in the kitchen and make our way around this beautiful property. And trust me, I won't miss anything. We have a room over there, but I really want to get to the meat and potatoes of it. Potatoes, you know what I mean. Okay, so look at this, folks. I love that we have the oversized island. You can obviously see that you have the farmhouse sink On top of that, you have your built-in stainless steel KitchenAid appliances. So I love the fact that we have high-end appliances. You can obviously see that we have the stacked cabinets as well. Even continuing over here, you have like that coffered ceiling as well. So a lot of luxurious features that I really love. And then right here, you got that nice little farmhouse looking pot filler. You got your wooden range hood up here. And then of course, imagine doing your dishes, having all the family out here. You know, we talk about that quite a bit, family oriented. Love it. Now I want to make sure that I open up the refrigerator for you folks so that way you don't miss anything. So obviously you can see that this is actually a JennAir refrigerator. So top of the line, we got a little mango drink right there. Love that. And then obviously I'll open up some of these drawers for some of my folks as well. And then we have soft closing, which I know you can appreciate as well. And then going inside of your pantry area, or more of that butler's kitchen, or prep area, you have a pocket door right here, folks. So separating the two. So you have a ton of storage shelving. Quartz countertops extends in here. Same thing with the KitchenAid appliances. You have access for another refrigerator, a freestanding one. And then you can see the stacked cabinets extending here as well. So the cool thing is when you walk into your breakfast area or dining area, depending on what you plan to utilize it for, you have sliders in here. So not only do you have it in the great room, you have sliders in here and on this side. So depending on your mood and where you want to access, you have two different sections right there, which I know you can appreciate. But let me show you from this end, folks. Look at this. Extremely spacious. Wow, I love it. Okay, so what we'll go ahead and do is we'll continue this way and then we'll make our way around. So immediately when you walk over here, you can see the continuous wainscoting right over here to the left, because this is in close proximity to the garage. You are going to have your mud room, but obviously you see some hookups for the washer and dryers. And then on top of that, you are going to have washer and dryer hookups upstairs as well. So we'll take a look at that pretty soon. But look at this, folks. Perfect location. And then of course, right over here, you have a coat closet. So I love the proximity, right? Walking in from your 6-car garage. Yes, I said it. You heard that correctly. 6-car garage, which I love, folks. Look at this. Now, I'll give you a sneak peek of the backyard so you can see what we're working with. Look at that. But we'll see that towards the end of the tour. Make sure you stay tuned. And then I'll open up the garage for you so you can see what we're working with. Look at this, folks. So what this is you have the 4-car garage bay and then a 2-car tandem. So towards the back over there, you can actually fit 2 additional cars, which is fantastic. And how about we see that so you don't miss anything? So you can obviously see, and then of course, right over here, look at this. You got some more storage. As far as if you want to add the toolbox over here, the jack, spare tires, you can certainly add that. But on top of that, folks, you do have access to the backyard right over there. You can clearly see that as well. And then you see these little columns right here separating. And then also you might have noticed that you had the privacy glass, but really nice. That's one thing that's different. I know some folks may be turned off by the open laundry room right here, but I think it is practical since you have that second one up there. But obviously you let me know in the comments. Okay, so right here, folks, this is the perfect study. Just look at the windows. You have sliders in the study. Wow, really something you don't see quite often. And then of course, you got a nice little closet if you want to hang up that coat right there, because a lot of us, if you do a Zoom call, most of the time you might have your coat on, but you have maybe basketball shorts on or something like that. So just hang up the coats right there, no judging whatsoever. Then right over here, of course, you have your built-ins, all the storage space that you need on the lower part. Then obviously cabinet crowns on top. But look at that. Look at this, the room from this angle. All the sliders. Wow. Love that, folks. And then of course the wainscoting really adds a nice little texture or a nice, some character to the home, which I love as well. And then of course, if I didn't mention, that's a pocket door. Okay, so now we're going to continue down this hallway right here. And then this is what you would call a billiard room, right? So if you wanted to add that pool table, folks, you could certainly do so. But more importantly, look at this. You have the floating beams, another set of sliders, and then of course you have the hardwood flooring extending over here, the farmhouse sink. So I know some folks don't like the sink inside of the island. So in this case, you still get your view. So if you prefer it to be elsewhere, just go ahead and head over here and do your dishes, I guess, and then just bring it over there. But look at that. Beautiful. And this time of day is really nice to actually see a home, in my opinion. I like to do it towards, the later evening, so that way you can see the true beauty. And then obviously we can see it when it becomes more nightfall or dusk. But the wainscoting extends right here. So this is a perfect place to entertain as well. So if you have maybe 75, 100 guests over here and you can't fit them all in the kitchen, in the great room, in the backyard, here you go. And then obviously you see your access for your refrigerator. Okay, so let's continue our tour. Now we're going to the mother-in-law suite, folks. But look, oh my goodness. Okay, so you have another washer and dryer hookup right here. Oh my goodness. So we have 3 washer and dryer hookups. Okay, so if you didn't want to hook those washer and dryers up over there, no big deal. But look at this. So over 6,500 square feet, and you're really seeing where they're utilizing the square footage. So continuing right here, this is going to be of course our half bath, and then that's a very interesting privacy glass that we have over here to the right. But of course you have the white cabinetry with the black hardware as well. Lower exterior tile accent wall. You got crown molding on top. And then look at this. Your mother-in-law gets another set of sliders right here. You got your accent wall, perfect place for a queen size bed, 2 nightstands right there. And then you have the raised ceilings, which is beautiful. But she would definitely have a great view, and then also can see who is in the house on this angle. Love that. So we also do have our tall baseboards in here. Then you got your full bathroom with your window. Walk-in shower with a porcelain tile as well. Crown molding extends in here. She has her shower bench with the shower niche. And this textured shower floor, like that fish gale tile. Wow. And then also you'll notice that the tiling extends all around on all 4 sides of the walls. And then right here, you have a decent sized closet. Let me turn on this light. Yeah. Got your recessed light right above there. So definitely ample space as far as the closet is concerned, which I know you can appreciate. But man, just look how large this is. You just walk in now. Whoever is in that room will have to walk, a distance to get over there, but no big deal whatsoever. Beautiful home so far. And I'm hoping you'll let me know what you're thinking about this one. Now, also, I'd love to hear, do you like the homes in Tennessee? Do you like the ones in Texas better? Georgia? Where do you feel has the best homes? Okay, so let's continue. Before we take a look at that primary, folks, I promise you I'm going to get to you to that, which is over there to the right. Let's go ahead and show this room so we don't miss anything. So this is another powder room. You can obviously see same materials as well. Make sure we got them toilet seats closed. Okay, so our first bedroom with carpet in here. larger bedroom. You can clearly see. So if that's the mother-in-law suite, this will be a perfect place for the guest suite. You can see right in the front yard, of course, all the windows, tall baseboards in here, very plush carpeting. And the good thing is this is first come, first serve, not a model home. So it's not in a situation where you're figuring out what is upgrades, what is not. What you see is what you get. And it's so funny because I always feel bad because, with model homes, it gets so tricky, sometimes availability, pricing changes. So I try my best to be as transparent as possible with the pricing, but sometimes, that's why I always have to add that plus right there, just because, it gets a little sticky. And then even, the next week or the next month, pricing may change. So, transparency is, really important for us. But this shower tub combo inside of this room, of course, you got your beautiful, wow, I haven't seen this before. Look at this. They have the, the hardware on top that gives that illusion as if it's a sliding mirror. That's a nice little touch. I've never seen that before. See, it's so cool. You always see different things every time you go into some of these homes. You never know what you're going to get. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to what you are looking for, folks. So let's continue this way. You can obviously see straight ahead right over here is our ensuite, but let me show you the primary suite first. Look at this. You got your fireplace, folks, with the shiplap. You got your mantle ready to go, LED ceiling fan. Look at all the lights that you have in here. So you have the tray ceilings, you have your accent wall right here where your headboard would go. You got two separate accent points, or access points rather, to the private patio for you folks. Wow, extremely spacious. You heat that sucker up right there, especially as we go into the winter. What a good time to be living in a house like this. So you got this industrial size ceiling fan, LED ceiling fan right there with the tray ceilings and the crown molding on top. So it really gives that nice raised ceiling feel, which I know a lot of folks can appreciate. And then right here, got a nice little wet bar counter area. Add that, that Nespresso, right? Not Keurig anymore. I guess we moved on from that. And then let's take a look at our ensuite, folks. Okay. So we have our freestanding tub straight ahead right here. I know one of our long-term subscribers, Kirk, I know we talk about that as far as not having the freestanding tub inside of the shower. So Kirk, that one's for you right there. So if you notice too, the porcelain tile is on all four sides in here as well again. So you got your little section over here. Look, you can add a little bamboo tree over there. Some tranquility. And then of course you have your crown molding inside of here, quartz countertops, same cabinetry with the hardware. And then look at this, folks. Look at this walk-in shower. Now this will get you clean right here. So you can obviously see you have your waterfall shower head. You have your tile ceiling as well. Long shower bench, porcelain tiling in here, same material. So they extended it from from the shower all around the ensuite. Okay, so to the right is our water closet, but let's look at our primary suite, folks. Yes, now this is what I'm talking about. Look at all the drawer space that you have. You got your island right here. You got your built-in bench right there with the cubby spaces underneath. You got your drawers, soft closing. Every single one of them is soft closing. And look at all the windows that you have, folks. Wow. So much storage in here. Any size wardrobe would fit in here. You might need to get your summer or your winter collection. Have it stored up in here. It's coming out. It's already out. Love that. And the summer collection is on sale right now. So if you want some good deals, go ahead and take a look at that online. But wow, absolutely stunning, folks. And then if it's already stunning now, can you imagine when it was staged? Okay. So that was the entire first level. Okay. So we didn't miss anything. And like I mentioned, right here to the right is our elevator. And of course it is closed off right now. So I don't want to mess anything up. But look at this. Let's go upstairs and see. And the cool thing is you also have a second story balcony, which I'll make sure to show you that as well as we continue our tour. But you know, we always like to overlook the great room just to kind of give you a better scope and a better angle. And then this is where your elevator landing would be right here. But let's go ahead and take a look at our next bedroom. So you're going to see the farmhouse sliding door up here, which is a nice touch, very different. But you have your crown molding. Look at that. You have almost like this little sunroom right here, which is nice. If you want to add that desk, but you can kind of get a scope of the full landscaping as well. But in here, no problem whatsoever adding that king size bed, the 2 nightstands, the desk over there, a dresser, and you are good to go. So in here is almost like a little secondary primary, I would say, or a second primary, because you have your vanity area over here. I would have liked to see the, some dual sinks, but no big deal whatsoever. This is just, it could be utilized as a second primary. But you have your shower tub combo over here with your shower niche in there. All the drawer space that you would need, and then a walk-in closet. Perfect. That carpet feels fantastic on my feet right now. So I have to give it up for them. You see you have your recessed lights up here. All the storage shelving you need for all your shoes. And you are good to go. Okay. So immediately when we walk up, you can obviously see to the left, that's where we were. You got your hardwood flooring here. You can see the wainscoting extends. So right here you have 2 additional closets as well. Look like pantries, but they're closets right here. So if you wanted to add additional storage, we'll talk about Twister, Monopoly, Uno. I mean, you don't need that much space for a deck of cards for Uno, but who knows? Okay, now look at our game room, folks. Common area, fantastic. You can clearly see we have some sliders up here, which is perfect. So the wainscoting extends up here, but like I said, the possibilities are endless. The poker table, the pool table, I mean, you already have the billiard room downstairs. So, if you wanted to add a air hockey table, yeah, there you go. And look at this, folks. What a view. Look how peaceful it feels out here. Wow, you can't hear a thing. That's awesome. Privacy. But obviously up here you see that you have the cathedral ceilings as well. You have the sliders that continues here. You see your lanterns. We got to turn those on, but lanterns all the way around here illuminates the entire exterior of the house, which I know you can appreciate as well. You can obviously see going to our additional bedrooms. You have that same farmhouse sliding door as well, or bar door, what you want to call it. And of course, you got another storage closet here. Okay, let's tackle this area, and then we'll take it from here. So right here, like I said, you have another utility room, folks. Laundry room with the quartz countertops. You have your sink inside of here. Black hardware again with the cabinetry, cabinet crowns, crown molding. And look at this, overlooking the backyard. You can't get much better than that, I'm telling you. We've seen some beautiful houses, but this is certainly up there as well. I love this one. So let's go ahead and continue this way, folks. Next bedroom, clearly we have the built-in window bench. So that queen bed set fits in here, extremely comfortable. Look at that. And not only that, folks, look at this. You have additional storage in your bench. So you can see you have 3 separate storage compartments, which is fantastic. And then some additional storage over there where you can head to the attic as well. So now you got the barn door, the sliding barn door again. And then look at this. Have you ever seen something like this? This is funny. So it's a, little mudroom rack or hall tree, whatever you want to call it. Have it right here. But this one doesn't have a full bathroom. Now, the thing is, I would have obviously liked to see a full, either shower tub combo or a walk-in shower. But this one, you would have the shared space right here. So technically, it wouldn't be a bedroom right there, folks. But you could utilize it as a bedroom. You just wouldn't have that closet space or the walk-in shower. But this one is your final bedroom. So that's why a lot of times you'll see it'll say, or at least in Texas, it said, 5/6 bedrooms. And you might say, what the heck? Why would it be 5/6? What is that? That was one of those right there. So it's a 5 full bedrooms, but you can clearly see that you can utilize that one as a 6. You just got to make a little bit of accommodations for whoever's going to be staying in that one. And then this one, you do have your walk-in closet as well as your walk-in bathroom. So you have a shower tub combo in here, tile flooring, and then this is our walk-in closet. So on both ends, you have built-in shelving as well as your built-in cubby space right here, folks, for the shoes. So if you haven't let me know so far, please let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this one. As we're traveling around, seeing different spaces and different locations and different homes and, just changing things up, I really want to bring variety to you folks. I know you definitely deserve it, and it's always nice to see different homes. And, I know if you're an enthusiast like me, just seeing the different architectural lines and the elements and the materials that folks use, it really is nice to see people's dreams come to life. As a builder, you think of these things as far as these ideas that you want to incorporate inside of a home, and then you get the ability to do so and bring it to life. Wow. And it's definitely an honor bringing it to you folks. Okay. So let's go ahead and tackle this section right here, and then we'll take a look at the other section of the backyard, the patio, the covered patio. But look at this. You can obviously see every single window, every single slider that you have in here, the quick access doors. Of course, you have your built-in bar over here, folks. Look at this. And then obviously you see the stacked stone as well, but look how much space. So if you can imagine building that pool right there, the trampoline over there, the kids' play set, and then of course you see your private area over there as far as the patio is concerned, and then our second story balcony right there. Love our built-in area over here, and then right over here, this is where the mother-in-law suites, the private patio is as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the other section. You can obviously see where our fireplace is, because you have the fireplace inside of the primary. So it only makes sense that you have an outdoor fireplace as well, right? Let's show you this. Okay. And this is our final area before we go ahead and wrap this up for you folks. So obviously you see where our sliders is. So if you open this up right here from the great room, this is your entertainment section as well. And this is your private patio from your primary, folks. You got dual ceiling fans right over here. You see your beam running across, very similar to the front exterior. You already got the built-in mantle, outdoor fireplace. Look at that. I don't think you can get much better than that, folks. And I'll let you be the judge of that. But other than that, folks, that was another beautiful property tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful property tour. Let me know in the comments what you folks thought about this one. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any modifications? If so, let me know in the comments below. If you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information below so we can get you taken care of. Consider hitting that subscribe button, and I'll see you folks on the next property tour.